hang in there. That's another tip I have for you, is hang in there. Because there are sometimes where we feel like we're hitting a plateau, but life operates on a delay system. You work hard all fall, all autumn, and it feels like you're not getting anywhere, but those results might come to you in the spring, right? Sometimes you're at a kind of a work plateau where maybe you aren't working that hard, and we all go through that sometimes, but sometimes you're just at a results plateau. Just hang in there, keep going, do what you're doing, because if you're not in a funk, you're gonna come out of it on the other side. What did Winston Churchill say? An Indian quoting Winston Churchill, not maybe a good look, but I love his quote where he goes, if you're going through hell, keep going. Right? What choice do you have? If you're going through hell, keep going. Because sometimes life is like a spring, you're getting pushed down and pushed down and pushed down, but you're gonna pop up. You're gonna convert that, potential energy to kinetic energy. Don't kick the can. Don't kick it into next week. When you get an invitation to do something in the future, ask yourself, would you accept this invitation if it were scheduled for tomorrow? Very few meetings will pass that immediacy filter and you'll go, oh, I don't want to meet with this guy. But you somehow think in 2 weeks you will free up your calendar. We all think this, that the grass is greener over there, that's where the water is calmer. It's like, no, it's because you're not making it messy through the water. It's calm because you're not swimming in it. Once you get 2 weeks from now, a fortnight from now, it will be just as messy. You probably will be having the exact same 2 weeks in 2 weeks as you are right now. So I think trying to think, can I do it or can I not tomorrow? That's like, oh, I don't want to meet with him tomorrow. So that tells you something. And a good way to say no, I've interviewed a lot of celebrities on my talk show. One of my favorite questions to ask them is, how do you say no? How do you say no to people? Because they get asked things all of the time. And one of them is not me, and the other one is not now. Okay, so not me is like if someone comes to you in your department and you don't have the time, you don't have the bandwidth, you're not rewarded for it, it's not on your work plan. Hey, but you know what, Debbie in accounting, she can help you. That's more her lane. I don't mean to take everything that comes your way and give it to Debbie in accounting. That's not what I'm saying. But there is one way to do that where you can divert it. And the other one that I think is actually more applicable is I can give you 10 minutes tomorrow, or I can give you an hour in 2 or 3 weeks. They will almost always take the 10 minutes tomorrow. And you will save yourself 50 minutes because usually they don't need an hour. They just need a few minutes. So again, you got to go through that first filter first, right, of do I even want to do this? But if you feel like you can't get out of it, if you have time, you got to do it. But if not, it's a good idea to go for the immediate 10. Another one, we're in Boston, so I have to put up a screenshot of The Departed, one of the great movies. So 2006, there's Martin Sheen and Mark Wahlberg. And there's a great scene there where Martin Sheen's character is trying to recruit Leonardo DiCaprio to come work in their department, and they're undercover cops in this one. And he says, we deal in deception here. What we do not deal with is self-deception. That always has stayed with me. I thought that was really great. It's important to reduce the conflict between perception, especially self-perception, and reality. Because all week, I've had people ask me, why did you leave? How did you do it? You left Procter & Gamble, you became a comedian. I said, come to my session, I will answer this question, okay? I've also already partially answered it by saying that I turned 30 and I flipped out and I'm like, oh my God, it's really freaking me out that I'm still doing what I want. I'm not doing what I really wanted to do with my life because I love my job. I have a lot of people ask me all the time, did you hate being an engineer? Did you hate working at Procter & Gamble? I'm like, no, I liked it a lot. That's what made this decision even harder. If I hated it, it would have been easy. But it was really difficult. Most comedians are not engineers. Right, because the left brain, right brain thing, they're about as far apart as you can get. I'm just really smart. No, it's because a lot of us are cursed with this. So you're good at a lot of things, right? You're good at a lot of things. So it's hard to narrow it down into one thing. It was a series of 4 conversations that I had. One of them actually ended up in the New York Times. One of the conversations I had was an offhand remark by my brother. And there was a great article written. I could not screenshot the top of it because I don't have a subscription. So what I had to do was I pulled it up in Chrome and it pulled up the subscription thing. So I went over to Safari, shot the screen real fast, and this is what I got. So that's it. That's the middle of the article. Even the highlight isn't really relevant here, so ignore the highlight. But it was a great piece about the remarkable shelf life of the offhand comment. I loved that concept. Somebody says something to you completely offhand and it just destroys your life. You can't believe that a person just said that to you, and it was just like such a crazy thing. And I had that happen to me 4 times. And one of them was, I was in the media department at P&G and I was co-leading branded entertainment for all brands in North America. Super fun job, flying to LA and New York and talking to record labels and movie studios and talent firms. And my main contact at CAA creative artist agency, the largest talent firm in the world, was this man named Roger Fishman. And we would talk every morning for about an hour. He was a great philosopher, and he would always share all this information and kind of life advice with me. Some of it sprinkled in here, I'm sure, because it got in there in the water somewhere in which I swim. And I said to him offhand, it was in the morning, we had these hour-long conversations, and he just goes, he's saying something, and I go, well, you know, because I'm a wild and crazy guy. And he goes, yeah, 30 years in Ohio, 6 years at Procter & Gamble, you are so wild and crazy. Silence, silence. And he goes, hello? I was a buyer, he was a seller. I go, I cannot believe you just said that to me. And he goes, look, Rajiv, here's the thing. You've been at the same company in the same state in which you were born. Your values right now are completely misaligned. He goes, if you're going to retire at Procter & Gamble, just admit that your values are security and stability, and that is what 99% of the world wants. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to tell yourself you're wild and crazy, then go do something wild and crazy. Quit your job, pack your bags, move to the West Coast, and be a stand-up comic, because that would be wild and crazy. Because I'm not saying you need to do that, but you need to get your values in alignment. That was really tough. That was a really tough conversation to hear, but he was right. It really, really, really hurt because it's so important to define ourselves accurately.